everyone. My name is Mr. K. Sardonicus. Welcome back to my Vault of Horror. Thank you everyone who is returning to my channel, and for those who are just starting with this video, welcome, and I hope you enjoy your stay. Tonight we're doing something very special, something that's long overdue, I believe. This is a new entry in my personal horror journey series. This is my retrospective of The X-Files. And we're going to dive into shit tons of things about The X-Files. And I'm going to tell you about my history with this series. So without further ado, let's get into the intro. Now, before we get into this video, I would like to ask you to please like, comment, subscribe. Comment what your favorite X-Files memory is, what your favorite episodes are. Have you read the comic books? Any of the other pieces of X-Files media? Have you collected anything? Tell me, because I'd love to chat with you guys about this series, because it holds a huge place in my childhood and to this day. So let's just get into this stuff first with some history.
What kind of monster
Please don't take my baby!
steals the unborn?
This isn't an X-File.
Now, The X-Files first aired in 1993. I was 1. And man, it was quite an amazing experience being able to visit the shows with reruns throughout my entire life. Even though I did have watched The X-Files since I was in diapers, alongside Tales from the Crypt. I'll explain. I explained a little bit about that in a previous video of mine, which I'll have right here. Anyways, back to the history. The amazing creator of this show, Chris Carter, was inspired by Kolchak the Night Stalker and many other shows as well. And the X-Files ended up casting Gillian Anderson as Agent Dana Scully and David Duchovny as Agent Fox Mulder. Mitch Pileggi also starred as Agent Skinner in the TV series, and he was all three of those actors weren't very well known. So this show actually put them in something that most people know them about. Now, don't get me wrong, Mitch Pileggi was the killer, Horace Pinker, in the Wes Craven slasher in the 80s called Shocker. So horror fans know more about Mitch Pileggi from that movie in general. But he also was in the X-Files, but he wasn't really shown until like later on in season 1. But then as the series goes on, Skinner becomes more of like bigger character. I could go on and on about like how amazing the show is and how the characters themselves were acted brilliantly by these actors behind them. But anyways, these episodes, some of them are their own story as mythology episodes, in this TV series. But then, starting with Squeeze, which had the villain Eugene Victor Toombs, we were able to get the introduction of the Monster of the Week episodes.
It awakens once every 30 years to kill.
Undetermined points of entry. Each victim had their liver removed.
But
now, as much as I love the mythology story behind everything that's going on throughout the series, with like all the conspiracies, the alien abductions, Dana being experimented on, Mulder trying to find his sister, along with their families passing away and getting killed or knocked off or something happening to them throughout the series. As much as I love that and what all the villains that they created, like the Black Oil, the bounty hunter that shapeshifts, the clones, all that shit, it's the Monster of the Week episodes that keep people going.
Friday, he can control the Earth's most deadly force.
Saying that he's some kind of a lightning rod?
I'm saying that he is lightning.
The Monster of the Week episodes always have some kind of unique, like, type of either creature, human monster that has specific powers, something like that. They dive into witchcraft, demonology, mutants, fucking werewolves, cults, all kinds of other shit. Mutants. I think I've already said that. But they've done a lot of stuff. Vampires, killer bugs, killer dolls, ghosts. They've pretty much done it all. And I absolutely love a majority of the Monster of the Week episodes. And there are quite a few favorites of mine, including Squeeze, and Toombs. That was like a two-parter. There was also Hungry. I really enjoy The Host. I also enjoy Leonard Betts. Quite a few episodes. But anyways, it's just an absolutely incredible series, and they have a bunch of episodes. But now, let's briefly dive into their multimedia.
Sunday, evolution makes a wrong turn.
Now, I'm going to start off with the VHS tapes. Now, I've had these for a long time, and they're a treasured piece of my collection. And each one of these VHS tapes came with the art card, and I don't have the art cards of any of these. But these were a huge part of our childhood, to be able to watch these X-Files episodes at home. Now, speaking of art cards, the Topps Trading Card Company came out with a lot of collector's art cards based on the episodes. And they also did cards based on the movies. And I haven't opened this up, and I don't intend to. This is a full-size X-Files Topps Trading Cards collection. I got this on eBay years ago, and it's still wrapped up and in mint condition. And these were being sold back in the 90s. I'm glad I got these in the pop culture. Now, I don't have the magazines or the comic books just yet, but I intend to. But yes, there have been a lot of comic books out there. Some were made by Top, by the Topps Trading Card Company. They also made comic books, and the X-Files had many comic books. The company IDW has done quite a bit of comic books from them. There's even a crossover with the X-Files and 30 Days of Night. And that was absolutely incredible. And then you also got the X-Files magazines that existed back in the 90s when the X-Files were huge in the pop culture zeitgeist. And they had so many different issues with multiple articles, conspiracies on the episodes, explaining episodes, retrospectives, artwork, the works. And I remember them being absolutely incredible. And that's not even mentioning the DVD and Blu-ray collections. So, it was great. And we had all that merchandise from the 90s to the early 2000s. And also the movie had Barbie dolls as well. You had doll figurines of Mulder, Scully, and a solo alien. And that was really legit as fuck. And now, the final thing we're going to discuss is the 2-season revival of the X-Files and how the original series ended.
Our 2 FBI agents must stop a relentless killer
The man hasn't slept in 24 years.
before their own government stops them.
Now, there were 9 seasons of the original series. And around season 8, I believe, or even season 7, it was beginning to drop off pretty bad. Season 8 and 9 is when David Duchovny just straight up stopped being Mulder before the revival. And they replaced him with Agent Doggett from, who was acted by Robert Patrick. And then they tried to introduce another, kind of skeptic type of Scully replacement with, I forget the agent's name, but I know that the actress who plays her is Elizabeth Gish. And yeah, there were some good episodes those last 2 seasons, but most of them were not very good. But then, in the mid-2010s, the X-Files came back with the original cast, so Mulder and Scully were back. So was Skinner and all the other people before Agent Doggett and that cast. And they were trying to tie up loose ends that were ended up happening when the series got canned after their 9th season. So we finally get some stuff about their kid, and there are some quite good Monster of the Week episodes, but these final 2 seasons, that 10 and 11, they were just to tie loose ends of the mythology episodes. There weren't really anything more than that. There weren't very many episodes either on either season. There was maybe 10, maybe, where every other season in the past was maybe 20 or so. So, there wasn't much to really go on when it came to the Monster of the Week episodes. But, yeah, that's how it went with that. So, let's finally end this video with my conclusion.
Hunger is always there, and it satisfies it any way it can.
Now, look, I love the X-Files. I will always love the X-Files. And I watched The X-Files since I was in diapers alongside Tales from the Crypt. And I'm telling you that it's a legendary show that deserves to be watched time and time again over the years. It's a timeless classic. There's a reason why it was so popular at a time. And I seriously think that it's literally one of the best shows out there that you could ever watch. If you want a good scare, if you want to see some aliens or some body horror, some monsters and stuff, it's right there and easily accessible almost anywhere online or physically. You know? I mean, no episodes have ever been lost to time. Even the controversial episode from season 4 called Home, it ended up, coming to video on DVD and Blu-ray, and then, it's on streaming. Nothing is censored from the show these days, and you get, if you were to get a physical copy of every single season, it would be worth your money, and I have yet to get it, but it would be worth your money, even though it's a huge investment.
Sunday on an all-new X-Files.
There's something out there. I saw it.
Just disappeared.
What is it, Mulder?
How can you stop a predator you can't see?
And that is it. Now, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let's talk about the X-Files. Let's do this. I mean, I want to have this huge community that I'm getting, talk about this series, because it's an absolutely incredible show that deserves to be talked about constantly. And, seriously, I'm at 81 subscribers now. Let's get up to 100 subscribers before July 18th. Because that's when I'm going to be going to that horror convention in Oklahoma City. Now, like I said before, I'm not going to the McAllister convention anytime soon because I cannot afford that one right now. I can only afford to go to one convention. And the horror convention is the one I want to go to the most. So, if you guys end up seeing it, here's the picture right up here. If you see me, you'll see me in this makeup, you'll see me in this getup, and you'll see one of my good friends and partners right next to me, dressed up in this good old getup. Let me show you what I got going on here. My sister is going to be wearing this. I'm helping her invest in a good Ghostface costume. So she'll be dressed up in this getup, and we're going to be filming everybody and asking them questions from the multitude of horror media that we have. So anyways, guys, until next time, take care.